Welcome to Drew Explores, the channel where we uncover the fascinating connections between iconic figures and the places that shape them. From the vibrant streets of Renaissance cities to the hidden corners of history, we journey into the past to better understand the world today. In this episode, we're delving into the life of Leonardo da Vinci, artist, scientist, and inventor, whose genius has fascinated the world for centuries. But Leonardo's brilliance didn't emerge in isolation. He was shaped by Florence, a city at the heart of the Renaissance, where art, science, and humanism flourished. Together, we'll explore how Florence nurtured Leonardo's creativity, from his early apprenticeship to his revolutionary work, and how his legacy continues to resonate in this city of innovation. In the 15th century, Florence wasn't just a city, it was a phenomenon. Known as the cradle of the Renaissance, it became the epicenter of a cultural explosion that transformed the arts, sciences, and human thought. At the heart of this transformation was the Medici family, Florence's de facto rulers, who championed humanism and supported artists, architects, and scholars. Their patronage wasn't just financial, it was visionary. They saw Florence as a place where creativity and knowledge could redefine humanity's potential. Under their guidance, the city evolved into a workshop of ideas, where collaboration and competition thrived side by side. Florence's artists pioneered techniques that revolutionized art. Linear perspective, giving depth to flat surfaces, and Chiaroscuro, creating lifelike light and shadow, were perfected here. These innovations not only changed how art was created, but also how people viewed the world around them. But Florence wasn't only about beauty. It was also a hub of technological and scientific progress. The city's engineers and architects were pushing the boundaries of what was possible, with projects like Brunelleschi's dome for the Florence Cathedral, a feat of ingenuity that inspired young minds, including Leonardo da Vinci. Florence's intellectual climate was equally groundbreaking. Libraries, academies, and public debates provided fertile ground for exploration. It was a city where knowledge was power and curiosity was celebrated. For a young Leonardo, stepping into this vibrant world was like stepping into a living laboratory, filled with tools to turn his imagination into reality. Leonardo da Vinci's story begins not in the bustling streets of Florence, but in the quiet hills of Vinci, a small town in Tuscany where he was born in 1452. As the illegitimate son of a notary and a peasant woman, Leonardo's path to greatness was far from guaranteed. Yet, his early years in Vinci provided the first glimpses of his extraordinary curiosity. He spent hours observing nature, the movement of water, the flight of birds, and the intricate patterns of plants, developing the keen eye that would define his work. Recognizing his potential, Leonardo's father ensured he received an education, despite the limitations of his illegitimate status. At the age of 14, Leonardo moved to Florence and began an apprenticeship under Andrea del Verrocchio, one of the most renowned artists and engineers of the time. Verrocchio's workshop wasn't just a place to learn painting, it was a hub of multidisciplinary innovation. Leonardo was exposed to a range of skills, from sculpture to mechanical design, that fueled his boundless curiosity. He learned to mix pigments, carve marble, and even draft mechanical devices. This environment, combining hands-on experience with intellectual rigor, set the stage for Leonardo's revolutionary approach to art and science. One of Leonardo's earliest contributions was in Verrocchio's painting, The Baptism of Christ. His depiction of an angel in the piece was so masterful that, according to legend, Verrocchio was humbled by his apprentice's talent and vowed never to paint again. Florence itself provided endless inspiration for the young artist. The city's architecture, lively markets, and intellectual vibrancy were a constant source of fascination. Its libraries offered access to classical texts, while its workshops buzzed with the latest techniques and ideas. This fertile environment allowed Leonardo to blend his artistic talent with a scientific mindset, embodying the spirit of the Renaissance. By the end of his apprenticeship, Leonardo was more than just a skilled artist. He was a thinker, an innovator, and a visionary. Florence had given him the foundation he needed to begin shaping a legacy that would transcend time. Florence wasn't just a city to Leonardo, it was a crucible of ideas that shaped his groundbreaking work. The artistic and scientific innovations of Renaissance Florence profoundly influenced his style, methods, and ambitions, pushing him to explore new frontiers in both art and science. In art, Florence's emphasis on realism and innovation shaped Leonardo's early masterpieces. Works like The Annunciation and Ginevra de' Benci reflect the city's artistic revolution. In The Annunciation, Leonardo's meticulous use of linear perspective and chiaroscuro created a sense of depth and atmosphere that was ahead of its time. Ginevra de' Benci, meanwhile, broke conventions in portraiture, capturing not just physical likeness, but also emotional complexity, a hallmark of Leonardo's approach. Florence's culture of scientific inquiry also left a lasting imprint. Public dissections, increasingly common in the city, gave Leonardo the opportunity to study human anatomy firsthand. His anatomical sketches, blending artistic precision with scientific accuracy, became some of the most detailed studies of the human body in history. These drawings were not mere studies. They were expressions of Leonardo's belief that art and science were inseparable. The city's engineering marvels further inspired him. Florence's infrastructure, from Brunelleschi's dome to its aqueducts and fortifications, demonstrated the practical application of theoretical knowledge. Leonardo's own sketches of flying machines, hydraulic systems, and military devices reflect this influence. While many of these designs were never realized, they embody the Renaissance spirit of blending creativity with functionality. Florence's competitive artistic scene also pushed Leonardo to innovate. Rivalries with contemporaries like Botticelli and Ghirlandaio drove him to refine his techniques and seek out new challenges. This environment of constant experimentation and collaboration ensured that Leonardo's work remained dynamic and original. Ultimately, Florence was more than just the backdrop to Leonardo's early career. It was the catalyst for his genius. The city's vibrant blend of art, science, and intellectual exploration provided the foundation for his unique synthesis of disciplines, making him not only a master of his time, but also a visionary for the ages. As we delve deeper into Leonardo's Florence, you bring these stories to life. Keep liking and sharing to help me continue this journey. Don't forget to subscribe and share your insights in the comments as we continue to explore the world together. Florence's artistic scene was more than just an environment for Leonardo. It was a proving ground. In the 15th century, the city was home to some of the most talented and ambitious artists of the Renaissance, creating a competitive atmosphere that demanded excellence and rewarded innovation. Leonardo's journey began as an apprentice in Andrea del Verrocchio's workshop, where he honed his craft alongside other rising stars. Verrocchio's studio was a hub of collaboration, where apprentices learned not just the techniques of painting and sculpture, but also the value of interdisciplinary thinking. This early exposure to Florence's artistic rigor and its spirit of experimentation left an indelible mark on Leonardo's approach to his work. As he matured as an artist, Leonardo's relationships with his contemporaries, including Botticelli, Ghirlandaio, and Perugino, were marked by both camaraderie and rivalry. This competitiveness drove him to refine his techniques and push the boundaries of what was possible in art. The demand for innovation in Florence's workshops encouraged Leonardo to explore new ideas, from his mastery of perspective to his revolutionary use of light and shadow. Despite his immense talent, Leonardo's perfectionism often clashed with Florence's demands for efficiency. He was known for leaving projects unfinished, to the frustration of his patrons. Yet, this very trait reinforced his reputation as an artist who prioritized groundbreaking quality over quantity. Leonardo's insistence on pushing his work to the limits of his imagination set him apart from his peers. Florence also shaped Leonardo through its vibrant intellectual culture. Debates on proportion, anatomy, and the role of nature in art were central to the city's artistic scene. Leonardo not only absorbed these ideas, but also contributed to them, using his art to explore the connections between the natural world and human understanding. Ultimately, Florence was both a challenge and an inspiration for Leonardo. The city demanded innovation, and in rising to meet those demands, Leonardo helped redefine the possibilities of art. His time in Florence solidified his reputation as a master of the Renaissance and set the stage for his later achievements. While Florence played a vital role in shaping Leonardo, his contributions left an enduring mark on the city's artistic and intellectual legacy. Through his work, Leonardo elevated Florence's reputation as a global center of creativity and innovation during the Renaissance. Leonardo's artistic breakthroughs redefined the standards of his time. Works like Ginevra de' Benci and The Annunciation showcased his mastery of realism, perspective, and emotional depth, inspiring a generation of artists. His ability to capture the complexity of the human form and the subtle interplay of light and shadow pushed the boundaries of Renaissance art, cementing Florence's place as the epicenter of artistic evolution. His influence wasn't limited to painting. Leonardo's engineering concepts and scientific studies reflected Florence's spirit of innovation. His sketches of bridges, fortifications, and hydraulic systems proposed practical solutions for urban challenges and demonstrated a forward-thinking approach that resonated with the city's architects and engineers. Although many of his designs remained theoretical, they symbolized Florence's ambition to merge creativity with functionality. Perhaps Leonardo's greatest contribution to Florence was his embodiment of the Renaissance ideal, the seamless integration of art, science, and humanism. His multidisciplinary approach set a benchmark for intellectual exploration, inspiring not only his contemporaries but also generations to come. This holistic vision of creativity helped define the character of Renaissance Florence and reinforced its identity as a hub of innovation. Today, Leonardo's legacy in Florence continues to be celebrated. Museums, galleries, and cultural institutions across the city preserve his masterpieces and ideas, ensuring his contributions remain an integral part of Florence's story. Through his work, Leonardo not only captured the essence of Renaissance Florence, but also shaped its enduring influence on the world. By the 1480s, Leonardo da Vinci had established himself as a promising artist in Florence, but the city's limitations began to frustrate him. While Florence offered unparalleled opportunities for learning and experimentation, it also presented challenges: stiff competition, demanding patrons, and an artistic tradition that often constrained his broader ambitions. For Leonardo, the allure of new horizons became impossible to ignore. In 1482, Leonardo left Florence for Milan, seeking to expand his creative and professional opportunities under the patronage of Ludovico Sforza, the Duke of Milan. In Milan, Leonardo found a more expansive stage for his talents. Unlike Florence, where artistic commissions often focused on religious themes, Milan offered the chance to work on grand projects that combined art, engineering, and science. During his time in Milan, Leonardo created some of his most iconic works, including The Last Supper. This monumental painting reflected not only his mastery of perspective and emotional depth, but also the foundational skills he had developed in Florence. The techniques of chiaroscuro, proportion, and anatomical accuracy, all honed in Florence, remained central to his work. Leonardo's departure from Florence highlights the dynamic relationship between an artist and their environment. Florence provided the foundation for his genius, but Milan allowed him to expand his ambitions. Yet, no matter how far he travelled, the influence of Florence stayed with him. The lessons, techniques, and ideals he absorbed in the city continued to shape his work and legacy, proving that Florence's impact on Leonardo was both profound and enduring. Leonardo da Vinci and Florence share a legacy that remains deeply intertwined. The city that nurtured his genius continues to celebrate him as one of its greatest sons, preserving his contributions and keeping his story alive for future generations. Florence was more than a backdrop to Leonardo's life. It was the wellspring of his creativity. The city's vibrant intellectual and artistic culture provided him with the tools and inspiration to redefine what art and science could achieve. In turn, Leonardo's innovations elevated Florence's status during the Renaissance, helping to cement its reputation as a global centre of creativity and knowledge. Today, that legacy is honoured in Florence's museums, landmarks, and institutions. The Uffizi Gallery houses some of his early masterpieces, while the Leonardo Museum in nearby Vinci offers a glimpse into his scientific and engineering pursuits. Visitors can walk the streets where Leonardo once studied and worked, experiencing firsthand the environment that shaped his genius. Leonardo's work symbolizes the ideals of Renaissance Florence, the integration of art, science, and humanism. His ability to merge disciplines and push boundaries epitomizes the city's spirit of innovation. Beyond his lifetime, these ideals inspired countless artists, scientists, and thinkers, leaving a legacy that continues to influence Western art and science. The bond between Leonardo and Florence is a testament to the transformative power of place. Just as Florence shaped Leonardo's genius, his contributions enrich the city's identity. Their story serves as a lasting reminder of how creativity, curiosity, and a supportive environment can shape history. Leonardo da Vinci and Florence share a bond that defined the Renaissance. Florence nurtured Leonardo's genius with its vibrant culture of art and innovation, while his groundbreaking work elevated the city's legacy as a global hub of creativity. Their story is a reminder of how places can shape people and how people can leave an enduring mark on the world. For more captivating adventures and explorations of incredible places around the world, click on the video on screen now. Your next journey awaits. Happy travels.